This might be one of the first ever made. Welcome back everybody. Thanks ever so much for supporting me in the 2 videos that I've just released, which really sent the channel into a new dimension. So I'm very, very pleased. I'm very excited. Some of this effort I've put in to the channel is now starting to pay off, and it's all down to you. So thank you so much for your support, your kind words, your encouragement, and and some of your advice, and all those things are most welcome. I just wanted to send a message out to say to all the subscribers that subscribe to various portions of the channel, whether I'm doing the Goodsey or the Norton or the CR500. Basically, I'm going to try and do these 2 projects here concurrently. I have got a day job. I run a company called Carbon Bike Repair. So it's a juggle between doing all these things, but fear not, we're still very much on track, and I will show you all you can see these. These are the forks now for the Norton, which have come out really nicely. I haven't assembled them fully yet, but looking not far now, and then we'll have that bike started and running and share it with you. Okay, this is really where the metalwork, the bright work restoration parts begin, because it all depends on what the finish is like. So for example, that there, I think I'd like to fix that. There's a thing, I'm hoping that will be on the inside somewhere. If we can overlook some of these things and realize this is a motorcycle from 1968, then what are we trying to achieve? But at the same time, what's distracting us from a good looking finish? Well, maybe that will distract, maybe it won't, I don't know, we'll see. See how clean we can get it anyway, and then we'll decide. This is, of course, one of those divisive topics, whether to crack this case or not. Now, normally I'd have no trouble at all stripping this case. There would be certain telltale signs of wear, and you know, the bike, this engine is old, and why wouldn't you? But I want to show you a few things around here. A piece missing here, which was, there we go, that would have been on this side, which is why this has been replaced. Now there's just no play at all. Bearing wise, I think this case is good, and one of the reasons why I'm very reluctant to pull this apart is that when you strip engines like these that are so old, you really strip them because they're necessary to strip. You've got all sorts of threads that are now being opened many times in its life. And every time you open a case, bang it out, bang the bearings out, put new bearings in, even if the bearings are okay, you just put that extra bit of wear on the assembly joints of these engines. And I'm of the mindset that if it's clear that it's not at all worn and that you can feel there's no movement at all, this looks all very good, then leave well alone. The worst that can happen is that you're going to get a traditional leak in this gasket. I would say at this point in time I'm thinking I'm willing to risk that for the sake of not disturbing what is okay already based on the age of this engine. But now I can see inside. I think there's just got to be a way that I can get in there and clean some of the sludge. There's a little bit of sludge down at the bottom. But the plug itself doesn't show any metal bits and pieces in, which is a good sign. So let me think about that for a while. You're welcome to your comments, of course. I listen and try and respond to all of them. Clean the filter. There we go. Right, we're getting it cleaner. This is the underside, which is a mess. Just looking at these gaskets. It's one of the main things that you can't check for. There's things like seals, oil seals and bearing seals and things like that. So let me just keep my mind open. So I'm going to probably overnight, I'm going to flush this out even more. You've got to be very careful when you flush and when you clean that you don't get any debris going down into these big end bearings. So I was very cautious to run any fluids down away from the bearings, protecting them from getting any muck in them. So I'm going to really put a high viscous fluid like petrol or something in here and just see if I can get it to leak out in any large amount, because obviously oil is not as viscous, highly viscous. So we'll see. But so far it's not looking too bad. So get that all cleaned up now. It's a very light paper, probably about 800. That's what we want. Nice and smooth. So you can see how much the casing needs work to get this all cleaned up. I'm just going to place this in position. That should be top dead mark. Okay, I'm going to have to make a mark. You notice on the old 68 Norton Commando, you've got two chains. One drives the rev counter, the tacho, and the other one is obviously for timing. So the short one sits in front there, like that. You can see with regard to the Norton Commando how close it is. I mean, if you look at the engine, we're very, very close. In fact, I've taken quite a bit of advice. Suffice to say that I've been able to avoid having to split this, because this is pretty much been redone before I got hold of it, believe it or not. So it will certainly speed up my process of getting the head on. I think I've still got to grind the valves and then do the electrics and so on. So I'm not far away. I've got to lace the wheels, if you can see. They're the two rims. These are the original rims, and they're fairly noisy when you turn them. There's quite a lot of debris inside them, which is normally akin to rust. So I'm going to still have to make up my mind whether I want to continue lacing these wheels or go and get new rims. But you know me, it's very important that I try and maintain all the original components, but provided they're safe, and then I can have confidence in the bike if I choose to keep it or to sell it. So I'm going to persist with this one, but it should be fairly quick, and then we can decide what to do with this. And I'd like to share the CR500 with many of you, because they're such an amazing part of motocross history, and still can hold a candle to some of the new motorcycles in 2023, which is just, it's incredible just what these things it is. A little bit of akin to a hand grenade with a carburettor. So we'll get that one done, because that's just in my mind, and I need to kind of conclude that. So we'll see you soon, and happy summer holidays.